The new moon in Pisces is less about starting something new and more about integrating something you already know. Many high-capacity leaders assume growth always requires adding more effort, more strategy, more output. But this cycle is highlighting something different. Growth right now is about activating latent capacity, not proving more, not pushing harder, activating what is already there. One of the quiet distortions I see among senior social impact leaders is this: if it still feels hard, I must not be fully ready. But leadership evolution rarely feels clean in real time, especially for leaders who have built their credibility through responsibility, reliability, and visible effort. This new cycle is asking vision advocate leaders, in particular, to examine where purpose has slowly turned into pressure. Not because anything is wrong, but because your leadership identity may be updating. High-performing leaders often go through a very specific transition point. There's an early career phase where overfunctioning is rewarded. You step in, you stabilize, you carry what others drop. And for a season, that works. But at more senior levels, the same pattern starts to create friction. Not because your commitment is the problem, but because your role is evolving faster than your internal operating pattern. That gap is where fatigue and quiet frustration tend to build. So I saw this very clearly in a cohort of high-performing team members I supported through AAK. On paper, they were strong performers, highly capable, deeply committed, technically solid. But many of them were experiencing decision fatigue and career stagnation at the same time. Not because they lacked ability, but because they were still operating from an earlier stage leadership survival pattern of high effort, high self-protection, and high personal carrying. Once we helped them clarify their meaningful growth priorities and map a more sustainable execution pathway, something shifted. One participant shared, "I used to hesitate even to ask questions or initiate anything. After working with Hawa, I now take decisions, engage stakeholders confidently, and move forward one step at a time." That's the kind of quiet recalibration this new cycle supports. Leadership growth is rarely linear. There are seasons of visible expansion, and there are seasons of internal integration. This new moon is very much an integration window. For vision advocate leaders especially, the invitation right now is, where can I lead from wholeness instead of from quiet overcompensation? If you want to work with this cycle in a grounded way, sit with this question this week. Where am I still leading from an old proof pattern that my current role no longer requires? You don't need to force the answer. Just notice what surfaces. And if you'd like ongoing reflections like this, our newsletter is the best place to stay connected. That'll be linked below. And if you already know you're in a deeper recalibration season, the Clarity and Power Reset is available when you're ready for more structured support. Subscribe if this was helpful. Next time, We'll look at what chapters are coming to a close and what leaders are being asked to release.